The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho is one of the most widely read and influential modern novels in the world. Published in 1988, the book combines philosophy, spirituality, symbolism, and simple storytelling into a narrative about dreams, destiny, fear, purpose, love, and self-discovery. Although the story appears simple on the surface, its deeper meaning has resonated with millions of readers because it explores universal human questions. Why are we here? What happens when we ignore our dreams? How do fear and doubt stop personal growth? What does it mean to follow one's true path? The novel follows Santiago, a young shepherd from Spain who dreams repeatedly about a hidden treasure near the pyramids of Egypt. At first, the dream seems mysterious and unrealistic. But Santiago feels emotionally drawn toward it. This introduces one of the novel's most important concepts, the personal legend. According to the book, a personal legend is the deepest purpose or calling each person carries within themselves. It represents the life someone is meant to pursue. Coelho suggests that many people sense this purpose when they are young but gradually abandon it because of fear, comfort, social expectations, or disappointment. This becomes one of the novel's central themes, the conflict between dreams and fear. Santiago begins as an ordinary shepherd satisfied with traveling, reading, and living simply. But the recurring dream awakens restlessness inside him. He realizes comfort alone cannot fully satisfy him because part of him longs for something greater. This reflects a universal human experience. Many people feel tension between safety and possibility. Following a dream often requires uncertainty, sacrifice, and risk. Another major theme is courage. The Alchemist repeatedly emphasizes that fear prevents more dreams than failure itself. Throughout Santiago's journey, he encounters moments where fear tempts him to stop. Fear of losing money, fear of uncertainty, fear of suffering, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of success. Coelho suggests that fear becomes dangerous when it prevents action entirely. Real growth begins when people move despite uncertainty. Another major theme is signs and intuition. Throughout the novel, Santiago learns to observe what Coelho calls the language of the world. This means paying attention to intuition, coincidence, patterns, feelings, and symbolic guidance. The novel presents the universe almost as spiritually interconnected, where people aligned with their true purpose begin noticing meaningful signs. Whether interpreted spiritually or psychologically, this reflects an important idea. Self-awareness increases when people become emotionally attentive rather than mechanically distracted. Another key character is Melchizedek, the mysterious king of Salem. He encourages Santiago to pursue his personal legend and explains another central idea of the novel. When you truly want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. This line became one of the book's most famous messages. Importantly, the novel does not suggest success appears magically without effort. Instead, Coelho emphasizes that commitment changes perception and behavior. People pursuing meaningful goals become more observant, persistent, courageous, and open to opportunity. Another major theme is transformation through journey rather than destination alone. Although Santiago initially seeks treasure, the real value of his journey lies in who he becomes. He gains wisdom, resilience, emotional maturity, courage, and spiritual understanding. This reflects another timeless lesson. The process of pursuing a dream often transforms people more deeply than the achievement itself. Another important theme is the relationship between material success and spiritual meaning. Santiago works at a crystal shop after being robbed early in his journey. The crystal merchant becomes one of the novel's most psychologically interesting characters. The merchant once dreamed of traveling to Mecca but never acted on it. He prefers preserving the dream emotionally rather than risking disappointment through action. This creates one of the novel's deepest warnings. Some people remain emotionally trapped because they fear discovering reality may not match imagination. Comfortable dissatisfaction becomes safer than uncertain growth. The crystal merchant symbolizes resignation. He survives but does not truly live fully. Santiago, by contrast, continues moving forward despite setbacks. Another major theme is learning through experience. Santiago repeatedly discovers that true understanding cannot come only through books or theory. He must live, struggle, observe, fail, and adapt directly. This becomes especially important when he travels with an Englishman studying alchemy. The Englishman seeks knowledge primarily through books and intellectual systems. Santiago learns more intuitively through lived experience and emotional awareness. Paulo suggests wisdom requires both knowledge and lived understanding. Another central theme is alchemy itself. In the novel, alchemy symbolizes transformation. Literally, alchemists sought to transform ordinary metals into gold. Symbolically, the novel uses alchemy as a metaphor for human self-development. The true transformation is internal. Fear becomes courage. Confusion becomes clarity. Immaturity becomes wisdom. Self-doubt becomes purpose. The Philosopher's Stone and Elixir of Life symbolize spiritual mastery rather than simple material achievement. Another important character is the alchemist himself, a mysterious spiritual guide Santiago meets in the desert. The alchemist represents wisdom, calmness, intuition, and mastery of self. He teaches Santiago one of the book's most important lessons. People often fail to pursue their dreams because they fear losing what they already have. This fear traps many lives in limitation. The alchemist also emphasizes simplicity. Truth does not always require complexity. The deepest lessons often emerge through direct experience, silence, observation, and courage. Another major theme is love. Santiago falls in love with Fatima, a woman living at an oasis in the desert. At first, he considers abandoning his journey to stay with her. But Fatima encourages him to continue pursuing his destiny. This introduces one of the novel's strongest messages about love. Real love supports growth rather than restricting it. Love based on fear or possession becomes limiting. Love rooted in trust allows freedom. This idea connects deeply to the novel's philosophy of purpose and authenticity. Another major lesson concerns suffering. Santiago experiences loss, theft, exhaustion, uncertainty, danger, and emotional struggle. Yet Paulo repeatedly suggests suffering becomes meaningful when connected to growth and purpose. Pain alone is not automatically noble. But avoiding all risk often creates deeper regret. Another important theme is listening to the heart. The novel frequently describes Santiago learning to understand his own heart, fears, desires, and intuition. This symbolizes emotional self-awareness. Many people live disconnected from themselves because they ignore inner truth for external approval or routine. The alchemist encourages deeper internal listening. Another central theme is the unity of existence. The novel portrays nature, spirituality, humanity, and the universe as interconnected. Santiago learns to communicate symbolically with the desert, the wind, and the world around him. Whether interpreted literally or metaphorically, this reflects the idea that humans become wiser when they feel connected to something larger than themselves. Another major lesson concerns the present moment. The novel repeatedly emphasizes living fully in the present rather than becoming trapped entirely in past regret or future anxiety. Awareness matters. Presence matters. Life unfolds through attention. Another important theme is perseverance. Santiago repeatedly encounters obstacles that could justify giving up. But every setback teaches him something essential. Paulo suggests meaningful paths often require persistence because growth itself demands difficulty. Another timeless lesson concerns authenticity. The novel asks readers whether they are living according to genuine purpose or merely following fear, routine, and expectation. This question gives the book lasting emotional power. Many readers see parts of themselves in Santiago's uncertainty and longing. The ending of the novel carries symbolic significance. After traveling across deserts and reaching the pyramids, Santiago discovers the treasure was actually buried near the place where his journey began. This ending reflects several important ideas simultaneously. The journey itself created the wisdom needed to understand the treasure. People often search externally for what ultimately transforms internally. Home gains new meaning only after experience changes perception. The treasure matters, but the transformation matters more. Another major philosophical idea in the novel is that purpose already exists within people before they fully recognize it. The challenge lies not in inventing meaning artificially, but in overcoming fear enough to pursue it honestly. How can someone apply the lessons of The Alchemist today? First, identify dreams or goals fear has postponed. Second, understand that uncertainty is part of growth. Third, pay attention to intuition and emotional truth. Fourth, avoid settling permanently for comfortable dissatisfaction. Fifth, recognize that setbacks often teach necessary lessons. Sixth, value the journey of growth as much as external achievement. Seventh, understand that real love supports authenticity rather than limiting it. Another practical lesson is courage. Many people wait for certainty before acting, but certainty rarely arrives fully in advance. Movement creates clarity. Experience creates wisdom. The final summary of The Alchemist is this: every person carries a deeper purpose or calling, but fear, comfort, and doubt often prevent people from pursuing it. True fulfillment comes not from avoiding risk, but from aligning life with authentic desire and meaningful growth. The journey toward purpose transforms people internally through courage, suffering, love, and self-discovery. In the end, Paulo Coelho reminds readers that the greatest treasure may not simply be what people find externally, but who they become when they dare to follow the dreams their hearts refuse to forget.